What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Today we're going to look back at, well, I called it Hammer Time, man. MC Hammer settings, you know. A great comeback, but for me, still a disappointing performance. I still class it as 2 points dropped rather than 1 point gained. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Let me know in the comments what you think. Big up everyone for tuning in. Thank you very much. At least it's not quite Arsenal therapy today, you know. If we'd have lost the game, this would have definitely been called Arsenal therapy today. But you know, today we'll still got to break down what I think was disappointing in the end. Big up everyone in the chat. Thank you very much for tuning in as usual. C says, well, everything good, man. Hello. Big up. Hey, Leicester, man, you're doing your thing right now, man. I'm telling you, you lot, the way you turned over United yesterday. Late Shore TV, big up Curtis. Apologies, man. Do you know what was mad? I was wearing the yellow Arsenal shirt from last season, and the green screen was tripping out with it, man. I don't know. You know, sometimes you can't wear yellow or green on a green screen. Oz says, big up Curtis in that consistent Jamaican time. Apologies. I got to fix that up, man. Serious. Yes, Joshua, big up Curtis. How you living, bro? I'm living good, man. I'm happy. I'm blessed, man. Big up everyone in the comments. How's everyone's Monday going, man? We're going to look back on the game yesterday and, you know, we'll do the player ratings. Big up everyone in the chat. And let's look back on some of the things yesterday. I wanted to show you a couple of things before we get into this. Into the player ratings, a few interesting things here. This is the first one. A comment here. Our home game against Liverpool on April the 3rd will be Mikel Arteta's 50th league game as Arsenal boss. Unai Emery reached exactly 50 league games and was sacked. Arteta needs 12 points from the game to equal Emery's points tally. I thought I'd show you that. It's a fact, isn't it? No matter what people think, people will say, oh, it's negative towards Arteta, but the facts are the facts. Now, I'm not saying Unai Emery was the right manager for Arsenal because I don't believe he was. But 50 league games and he's 12 points behind Unai Emery. Now, obviously, if he wins that game, it will be 9. But will we beat Liverpool? That's a whole other story. But you know, how good a job is he doing? I find it very difficult with Mikel Arteta because I'm really trying to be positive with him. And listen, I'm not saying for 1 second, Teddy, I'm not saying for 1 second that I want Unai Emery. Right, we're back. Apologies, people. Microphone and thingy was all tripping there, man. That's why I need the new laptop. I said, man, dip like our form under Emery. Apologies, man. This is what happens sometimes with this computer. But yeah, as I was saying there, people, is he improving us? Yeah, Arteta's mashing up the connection. He thought, you know what? I can't have him slandering me like this on Monday, man. Let me cut off that Wi-Fi. You know, is he improving us? Let me know your opinion, man. Is Mikel Arteta? Is he improving us? He's 12 points behind Unai Emery after 50 games in charge. And, you know, are we improving? I'm not sure. I know he's had a lot to deal with, Mikel Arteta. Let's be honest. He's had a lot of stuff that he's needed to deal with off the pitch as well as on the pitch. But is he improving us? Let me know what you think. Big up FZ as a new member. Thank you very much for becoming a member on the channel. Much appreciated. Appreciate all the support from everyone. The link is in the description below if anyone else wants to join as a member. Breve said, Curtis, you're my guy, but this constant complaining ain't doing nothing. He's not going anywhere. Listen, I'm not saying get him out or anything like that. I'm saying the facts are the facts, bro. We can't hide from the facts. We can't just say, you know what, let me just put my head in the sand and pretend everything's rosy in the garden, because at the moment, it's not. I'm just stating the facts, you know. I'm not really. It's not just after every loss and draw. It's throughout the whole season, really. And you have to look at the manager. Manchester United are second in the Premier League, right? And loads of their fan base want Solskjaer out of the club. They're saying he's not good enough. But with Mikel Arteta, who is, we're up to the dizzy heights of ninth now, to be honest, though. A lot of people think he's the Messiah. I just think we have to make a fair judgment of where he is in the league and the job he's doing. I get what you're saying. Arteta's not going anywhere. But, we still have to judge him fairly off what he's doing. And I think he's had a lot more control of things that have happened, Unai Emery did come out and say he wasn't in control of every player that he was signed. He wanted Zaha and things like that. But, hey, we move on from that anyway. Let's look back on yesterday's game. It was a roller coaster of emotion, yesterday's game. Obviously, we were 3-0 down after 30 minutes. It was absolute meltdown season for Arsenal fans all over the place, man. It was probably the worst 30 minutes of the season in any game. And then in the second half of the game, we start bopping the ball. Obviously, we got the goal just before half time, and then we started really playing. And you think, this team is so, it's like a flip of the coin. On one side, they're terrible. On the other side, they're capable of being really good. And that's the problem, the inconsistency. Scenes FC, yeah, well, the comeback was great. I thought we were going to win the game in the end, to be honest. But we didn't quite complete the comeback. But we weren't far off. But the point doesn't do a heck of a lot for Arsenal, if we're being honest. I think a point makes no difference moving forward. We still got to try and get in the top 6. But I don't think that helped. Let's get into the player ratings. You know how we go, people. We read out the name. You let me know what you think. And tell me what you think about the ratings for each player. This is going to be interesting, that's for certain. Because there were some performances yesterday that were not so good. Let's just put it that way. Burnt Leno in goal, people. Burnt Leno in goal. I would give Leno a 4 for yesterday. The way he got beat at his near post for Jared Bowen's goal, it's not like he hit it like an absolute rocket. Some goalkeepers do get beat at their near post every now and then. But that was no powerful shot. There was no, he didn't rip the net in half. In fact, I'm not even sure if he hits it with his laces. It almost looks like he side foots it. Terrible, really poor. He came out for a few crosses, looked like he was getting bullied as well. Wasn't great. Reed says bye bye Emi Martinez, and Ashton said Emi is better than Leno. I mean, I think Leno, I really thought Leno was having a good season for Arsenal, but over the last few weeks, the red card against Wolves, playing out from the back at times, not all of them. I don't think the Xhaka one was his fault. I think the Ceballos one he could have dealt with better. Didn't look good yesterday. Got beat at the near post. I thought it was awful. And like you said, with the ball at his feet, which Arteta does want to play out from the back, Leno is just not that good. To me, is Leno just a very good shot stopper, Is he just a really good shot stopper? Although he didn't save the shot yesterday. But is he just a good shot stopper and the rest of his game is kind of a bit up and down? I'm not sure. So I'll give Leno a 4. Kofi Isco, thank you very much for becoming a member, bro. Much appreciated. Thank you for your support. Leno better than Emmy. He made a mistake v Spurs. I mean, he hasn't made many this season, though. Fraser gives Leno a 4. Bernd Runarsson was goalie yesterday. He was pretty bad, man. He was really bad. I'll give Leno a 4. Maybe I'm being kind there, but is it time for Matt Ryan to get a game, you know? Looked good in the game that he played, but I'm not saying he's better than Leno, but Leno maybe needs some competition. So I'll give Bernd Leno a 4. Maybe Leno doesn't have many players to pass to at times, yeah, but, you know, yesterday getting beat at his near post was terrible. Last of them said I'm being generous. Maybe he deserves a 3, but I'll give him a 4. He was poor. We'll start with Callum Chambers in defence. I thought Callum Chambers had a very good game yesterday. Anybody who watches my channel on a regular basis, I'm not the biggest fan of Callum Chambers. I think he's been at Arsenal for a long time and hasn't really improved that much. I think he's a centre-back playing right-back almost. But yesterday, and what I will say about him, he crosses the ball a million times better than Hector Bellerin. And his delivery yesterday was like Domino's pizza, mate. Straight to your door. You know, just collect it. Great deliveries from Chambers yesterday. Made a great clearance at the back as well when we were under pressure. He was a constant outlet for us. He's been out for over a year as well with this ACL injury. And listen, ACL injuries are probably... It's up there as the worst injury you can have in football, I got to be honest. Is Callum Chambers somebody that I would like to see playing at right back full time? No, I don't think he's a top level right back. I think when he plays against wingers with real pace and top quality, I think they trouble him. I think he is better at centre back. But I thought yesterday he did really well and he deserves credit. What are you guys saying? Chambers 7. Big up my boy Deluda Guna in the cut. We'll be back this week. We'll definitely get a show done this week. Big up DG. Go and check out his channel. Curtis Artekas has revived Chambers. I don't know if we can go to that point. Chambers was doing a Beckham. Yeah, man was bending it like Beckham, bro. Yo, Domino's delivery, bro. I'm telling you. Callum Cafu, they're calling him. You know, I'm going to be positive with him. I'm going to give him an 8 for yesterday. I'm going to give him an 8 because he creates 2 goals, although, you know, Lacazette had a lot to do when he crossed the ball. It's not like he put it on a plate, but he caused the own goal. He puts the ball in the danger zone constantly, and I was very impressed. I'm going to give him an 8. Does he have a long-term future at Arsenal? I'm not sure. If he has. But listen, if we're looking at that game purely, he was really good yesterday. Great deliveries. Luke with a super chat, thank you very much, said, Curtis, I think the energy we used during that North London derby win and the highs the players must have felt has made it hard to get up for these games. I mean, that is probably the problem, though, with this football club, because if you lose the North London derby, then I could say, well, you know, they lost, they're down in the dumps, they're finding it difficult to lift themselves, but they won. They should be on a high. Okay, Olympiacos game was not great, but we got through, you know. So if you're on a high, how can you then fall? I kind of think it should be the opposite. If we lost to Tottenham, I would have said, okay, maybe that's pulled them down and they're struggling to lift themselves. But we beat Tottenham. If you can't play well when you're actually on a high, then you've got to seriously question yourself as a top-level footballer. So whilst I appreciate what you're saying, I think the players, if that is, you know, the reason, I think that's a shocking excuse, man. You beat Tottenham and played like that, you should be able to go and beat West Ham. I know West Ham are above us, but I can't give them that excuse. I thought they were shocking in the first half. Let's gas Calum up for an England call-up. Kieran Tierney. I think Kieran Tierney was poor yesterday. Gave away the ball for the 3rd goal. Put a few decent crosses in, but thought it was one of his poorer games. I got to be honest. I'd probably give Kieran Tierney a 5. Let me know what you think in the comments. made a bad mistake for their goal, gave the ball away, and I didn't rate his performance yesterday. I think a lot of the problem with Kieran Tierney yesterday, and I'm not giving him an excuse, he's got Aubameyang in front of him. Now, we're going to talk about Aubameyang later. I know Saka is on the left here, but him and Aubameyang were swapping. I think over the past few weeks, Tierney's built up a good little partnership with either Smith Rowe or Pepe on that left-hand side. And he did make a good goal-saving block, to be honest, from, I think it was Antonio. But apart from that, I didn't think he was good yesterday. Also turned away from the quick free kick. Yeah, conceding that third goal cost us 3 points. And yeah, I'm going to give Kieran Tierney a 5. I thought he was poor. Yeah, big up Forever Football with Franny Green in the chat, man. Go and check out his channel, people. And like you said, Aubameyang wasn't doubling up. And he did make the good blocks. But I thought for him, he dropped his level yesterday. I'll give Kieran Tierney a 5. Let's go to the centre-backs. Pablo Mari. The two centre-backs for me will probably get the same rating because I think Antonio bullied both of them yesterday. I think he bullied both of our centre-backs yesterday. And a conversation that I think we need to start having at Arsenal is I think we may need a centre-back this summer. I've heard a lot of people talking about right-back, centre-mid, totally agree. Do we have two centre-backs at Arsenal Football Club that can get this team into the top 4? Now, Gabriel, to me, is the future of this football club, right? I think he's quality. Saliba, we hope, will be at the level when he comes back. You've also got Mavropanos, who's having a good season in Germany, whether he's at that level or not. Saliba and Gabriel would be very inexperienced, but I would be prepared to give it a chance. But I'm not sure that we've got a partnership at this football club at the moment. I'm not including Mavropanos and Saliba on loan. Do we have a partnership that is good enough to get in the top 4? I'm not sure if we do. I'm really not sure if we do, man. Pablo Mari gets a lot of ratings. A lot of people seem to like him. I'm not fully convinced by him. I don't know why. I like him. I think he's a good squad player. I don't mind him playing, 10, 12 league games and some cup games. But with Pablo Mari at centre-back for 38 games, would we get in the top 4? I'm not sure. I'm just not totally convinced. I think they got roughed up yesterday. To be fair, I actually think David Luiz battled a little bit better out of the two of them. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh here. I thought Pablo Mari was maybe slightly worse than Luiz, but I think both of them were pretty poor. Mari is solid. That was his worst performance. I'm going to give Pablo Mari a 4, and I'm going to give David Luiz a 5. I thought they were both off it. I think Luiz was better. He battled a little bit more in the second half. I mean, Aslan's saying we have enough centre-backs, but I'm talking quality over quantity, my friend. We can have 15 centre-backs at the club, but if none of them are good enough, it doesn't matter. I think Gabriel is good enough, but I think we may have to, depending on what happens with Saliba and Mavropanos, I still think we should keep our eyes open in the summer for a centre-back. I'm not totally sure, but listen, Antonio put them to work yesterday, man. And I didn't think they handled him at all yesterday. Luiz is a good passer. We have two good centre-backs, Gabriel and Saliba. We are just not using them. And can they play as a partnership? I'm sure we'll see that in pre-season. Tyrone Mings, you're saying you would like. Again, another left-sided centre-back, though, a left foot. Or do we need that right foot? Get Mustafi back. Yeah, maybe to fill up the water bottles. So I'm giving Mari a 4 and David Luiz a 5. Let's go into the midfield. Granit Xhaka. I didn't think he did anything special yesterday, to be honest. I think he was a passenger. He got substituted. Don't think he got on the ball much. It was one of them games that Xhaka just quietly doesn't do a lot. The one positive, he didn't get booked. And I said, he gets booked pretty much every game, but he did nothing. I can't think of anything really that Granit Xhaka did yesterday. Did he have a shot? Did he play a pass that opened them up? It just kind of went through the game without doing much. I just don't think he did anything. I'm thinking 4 or 5 for Granit Xhaka. Xhaka is far too inconsistent. We will never win anything with him in this team. It just, I don't know. Maybe it was fatigue. I think someone said he's played 14 90 minutes in a row before yesterday. I just didn't think he did anything. I'm going to give him what am I going to give him? He didn't. I'm going to give him a 4. I'm going to give him a 4 for the simple reason that I don't think he did anything really in the game. You look at Jesse Lingard's goal, they're attacking midfielder on the edge of the box. No one's anywhere near him. I just don't think he did anything in the game. I'll give him a 4. It was probably an average, quiet performance for Xhaka, but I just didn't think he was good. I'll give him a 4. People are saying 16, 90 minutes. Absolute wild, but our fans will gas him up like he's Pirlo. 19 games in a row, people saying. Just 4 just coasted by, didn't offer anything. 4 for Granit Xhaka, was substituted as well and doesn't get dragged that much. Xhaka gets a 4 for not getting sent off. Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey is giving me mixed feelings at the moment because on one hand, I think this guy is a massive signing for us. But I think we're using him wrong. I think a lot of it will come down to the fact we don't have that quality midfielder next to Thomas Partey. I genuinely think we've got him trying to dictate the play too much. And when he was at Atletico, he simply didn't have to do that with Saul and Koke and players like that around him. He was the energetic, box-to-box, win the ball, keep it simple, occasionally have a shot, occasionally look for that pass. One thing I like about Thomas Partey, he's progressive with his passing. He always looks forward. But the other thing, I think people were calling the RSPCA yesterday because this guy was killing pigeons yesterday with his shooting. Thomas Partey cannot shoot. What is going on with him? Brethren, one of the basic things you learn in football is to shoot. You're a midfielder as well. Surely the ball breaks to you on the edge of the box. The guy can't shoot, bruv. He's clay pigeon shooting, bruv, just licking down pigeons everywhere. So I'm split on Thomas Partey. On one hand, I say he's not playing great. But on the other hand, what would many midfielders do next to these midfielders that he's got around him? Granit Xhaka. Who has looked great around Granit Xhaka at Arsenal? Mohamed El Neni. You know, he's getting caught on the ball sometimes, giving the ball away. But I tend to still think that he holds the midfield together better than anyone else. When he's not in the midfield, we go down the pan, like literally go down the pan. I said before that he's like clean water being polluted by people like Xhaka and El Neni, you know. Guy said, Curtis, big facts. Finally, someone sees it. It's his midfield partner is the issue. You go and put a top quality centre midfielder around him, I think you see a different Thomas Partey. Yesterday, I thought he was not great on the ball. His shooting was woeful. He was progressive with his passing, so I don't want to hammer him too much, but I am going to give him a 5. I think he's got to be better. You've got to improve. Like, you're a 27-year-old, £45 million centre midfielder. Not everyone's got a great shot. I understand that, but he doesn't even hit the target. Every ball just sky high over the bar. I'm going to give him a 5. I think for him, Liam said 6. I didn't think he was good. I think for him, he's a lot better than that. As Mesut says here, Bissouma in, Xhaka out. That could be the difference. We go to Martin Odegaard. And listen, I don't hand out green screens for nothing. And this guy deserves to be on the green screen for what he did yesterday. It was a masterclass. In terms of him, you know, because the whole team wasn't firing, he won't get as much credit for it. If we'd have won the game, people would have been raving about it. And I agree with Thomas. Partey did find Odegaard a lot. I thought Martin Odegaard yesterday was fantastic. Honestly, when I watched the game on the watch-along, I didn't see everything that he'd done because obviously I'm concentrating on the computer. But I watched the game back yesterday and I thought he was outstanding. Honestly, I think this guy, we've spoken about it so many times, his footballing intelligence and level of understanding and positioning, he's absolute different class, this guy. Honestly, the ball, the round the corner pass that he plays into Pepe, which Pepe probably should have scored with as well on his right foot. you know, he deserves an assist for that. Sometimes you're only as good as a creative player as the players who are getting on the end of the pass. Odegaard told you people when we signed him, awesome. We've got to get a deal done for him. We've got to get this guy signed and sealed. And just hope that Real Madrid are willing to let him go. Always wants the ball, never goes hiding. I was actually split, but I'm actually going to give him man of the match. It was close between him and Lacazette, but I'm going for Odegaard. I think he did everything good that Arsenal did went through him. It's as simple as that. He was fantastic. We need to find an agreement with Real Madrid. And if he keeps playing like this, you know, the rumours are £40 million. I think that will stretch Arsenal to get a deal done. I thought Martin Odegaard was absolutely fantastic yesterday. Man of the match. Everything we did well went through him. Declan Rice, Souček, they didn't get near him. He drifted away, played little passes around the corner. I thought he was brilliant. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. That is the level that he set himself. And people, don't forget, this guy's 22 years of age, Martin Odegaard. What a player. They're calling him Odegaard. Ian said you were harsh on Partey, had the most ball recoveries, but you recover the ball and then give it away. It's counterproductive, you know. Listen, he set his standard so high. We saw Partey at his level against Man United and that. He was nowhere near that level, so, you know. But anyway, loan with an obligation would be ideal. Yeah, I'd take that. But listen, if we don't get Odegaard signed, we're going to have a massive hole in our team next season, because the one thing that does worry me about Odegaard is we're relying on him that heavily already as a lone player that, look, people forget we're only in March. We signed this guy in January. As you're saying here, Garda, he's been at the club for 8 weeks. He looks like he's played for Arsenal for 5 years. And we can't afford him to go in the summer and then we're back to square one with that problem, you know. So let's hope we get him signed on a permanent. Let's go to Bukayo Saka. I didn't think Saka was great yesterday. He got on the ball. He tried to make things happen. Saka, I think Saka's had a little drop the last few weeks. I don't want to criticise him because I do think he's probably been our best player this season. But just, I don't know, is it tiredness? He was out in the week with this tight hamstring. Maybe Arsenal shouldn't have played him yesterday from the start and given an opportunity of someone else. I definitely think he needs a rest. I mean, he's in the England squad. England have got 3 games over the international break. I really hope we don't see him playing for England too much. I would have liked him to have been pulled out of the England squad. People saying since he's gone to New Balance, his form's dipped. I remember when people used to say that about Henry. Left Nike, went to Reebok, and he just dipped in form, man. He was never the same player. Neymar's just gone to Puma as well. Certain players have to be in Nike boots, man, I'm telling you. But I would give Saka a 5 yesterday. He missed a great opportunity as well. Lacazette, ball round the corner, he was in. Should have scored, in my opinion. He's a youngster with great talent. He's been fantastic this season. I don't want to slander Saka and say that, you know, he's not good enough. I'm not going to say anything like he's a great talent. I think he is tired, needs a rest, but he hasn't been up to his usual standard the last few weeks. And this is where I think Arteta's got to use the squad a little bit more. So I'll give Saka a 5. This one is causing me pain and great difficulty, people. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Now, I've really enjoyed this guy since he's been at the football club. We can't forget what Aubameyang's done for the football club, right? The first season, half a season, scored 11 goals, I think, in half a season. Great. Second season, 23 goals, Golden Boot winner. Third season, 22 goals, one behind the Golden Boot winner, I think was Vardy that season. This season, he struggled. And yesterday, for me, I'm going to be honest, I think that was Aubameyang's worst performance in an Arsenal shirt. He didn't look interested. He didn't look happy. He didn't look like he wanted to be there. And there's something wrong. There's something wrong, I'm telling you. I don't know what's going on with Aubameyang. I don't know if he's not vibing well with this manager.
I said it in the stream yesterday. For me, play Aubameyang up front or bench him. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I just think Aubameyang playing left wing is done. It's been overplayed. It worked for a short period of time. He's not a left winger at 31 years of age. I don't think he's got the legs. I don't think he can dribble well enough to consistently do that. I don't think he can get up and down the touchline. And yesterday, I saw a lack of effort. And rather than us just hammering him, which is the easy thing to do, we've got to look at the bigger picture. Why is Aubameyang playing like this? Why is his body language like this? Why does he look so miserable on the pitch? You know, is he not vibing with this manager? Are we not using him right? Is it the off-field issues? You know, his mum wasn't well earlier in the season. I don't know. I'm looking for a reason why a guy that basically won us the FA Cup last season and scored 22 league goals, why he looks so disinterested. Is it fatigue? You know, people are saying that the contract, was he fighting for that contract and he's got the contract and, you know, subconsciously he's took his foot off the gas 15 or 20%. It kind of happened with Ozil. You know, Ozil was in great form until he signed his contract. Then he dipped. If this was happening with Aubameyang for 5 or 6 games, I wouldn't make a big deal out of it. But he's had a very quiet season by his standards, you know. And I think we have to look at the situation. Look, I don't want to turn on him. I don't want to say that Aubameyang is finished. I still think he's a quality player. I do think there are issues behind the scenes. I'm telling you, I think he's not enjoying his football at the club at the moment. But yesterday he was awful. He was awful. Aubameyang is the sort of player where if he doesn't score, doesn't offer anything else, he's restricted. He's not an all-round footballer. That some strikers, you can put crosses in, they'll score headers. You can play long, they'll hold the ball up. You can whip it into their feet. They link up's good. Aubameyang is not great at a lot of these things. He needs to play on the shoulder. You need to get him one-on-one, get low crosses into the box, use his movement. I'm not sure if we know how to get the best out of Aubameyang, and I'm not surprised that he's had this downturn in form. You know, I kind of think Aubameyang's overachieved at Arsenal over the last couple of years. You look at last year, there was a lack of creativity. He scored 22 league goals. The year before, he won the Golden Boot. So you have to know what kind of striker you've got. You know, would Leicester put Jamie Vardy on the left and say, you know, use your pace, run up and down? It's not going to happen. Equally with Aubameyang, he's not that guy, bro. He's just not that guy. But listen, man, we need to stick with him. As I always say, we've stuck with players that are a lot worse than him over the years. He's still got credit in the bank for me. You know, he's not quite into the overdraft yet. You have to play to his elements, and Arteta does not play that way. I agree. I think Arteta wants a link-up striker rather than a striker that plays on the shoulder. You know, big up my boy Deluded, striking insight from the light-skinned Cameron Jerome. Listen, I'm coming for you, bro. I'm coming for you. Oi, Bergwijn, I'm coming for you, Bridget. Yeah? Look out for a show with me and Deluded this week. 100% we're going to sort that. Kevin said if you remove his goals, he's just a light-skinned Danny Welbeck. That's what Stricto's saying. That's harsh, man. That's harsh. You know, he's I said a light-skinned Welbeck. Welbeck had the work rate, but let's be honest, man. Welbeck never had Aubameyang's talent, man. Let's keep it real. He's not quite in the overdraft, man. He's still got a little stack in the bank as far as credit in the bank as far as I'm concerned, you know. Come on, man. He's not quite in the overdraft, man. There's some money there, but, you know, he's pushing himself with the credit at the moment. But now I'm going to back Aubameyang. I think as a fan base, we have to stick by Aubameyang. Man said Obama Beck, you know. That's harsh, bro. Aubameyang's done. Nah, he's not, man. He's not. We need to get the best out of him. Lacazette yesterday, I think he was brilliant. I think that was one of his best games in an Arsenal shirt. And the problem is with Lacazette, I put a tweet out today. A lot of people are saying play Lacazette now up front, always over Aubameyang. But the problem with Lacazette, he has these purple patches. In his career at Arsenal, 5-6 games, he's outstanding. And you go, wow, here's the player we've been waiting for. And then I remember Aston Villa away, people were saying he was playing CDM up front, you know, didn't look like he was ever going to score a goal. This is the problem. And Arsenal fall into this trap sometimes. If we're looking at as an isolated incident, Lacazette was superb yesterday. I will give Lacazette a 9 yesterday. I thought he was fantastic. Very, very close to getting man of the match. The little ball round the corner where he put Saka in the first half. Saka should score. That's an assist. His goal, the way any striker, anybody watching that first goal, look at the way he controls that and spins. I know it gets a deflection, but a brilliant finish. And then the header, you know, good goal in the box where we want to see Lacazette's set to have his biggest goal scoring season at Arsenal. He's got 11 so far. His highest is 14 in the league. I'm sure with 10 games to go, that Lacazette will go beyond 14 goals. The problem is Lacazette, he turns 30 in May. Lacazette turns 30 in May. He earns 150 grand a week. He's got a year left on his contract. Do you give him a new deal? You know? And then next year, if you give him 2 or 3 years on his new deal, you put the wages up, you end up with Aubameyang 31, nearly 32. And you end up with 30-year-old Lacazette on big contracts and past their best. It's a very difficult decision that Arsenal are going to have to make on Lacazette. What would you guys do? Let me know quickly. What would you do regarding Lacazette this summer? Year left on his deal. Club have said they don't want to let any of our top players go into the last year. I'm inclined to believe that we cash in on Lacazette in the summer. And I find that hard to say because I really like Lacazette. And I want to believe that with these young players and the energy around him, they've completely revitalized him. But I don't feel like I can trust these players. I just don't feel like I can. 1 year extension is not the end of the world. I could probably get my head around that. You've also got to consider, if you sell Lacazette, who replaces him? Because Lacazette, you're going to get, 20 million for him? Maybe to Lyon, you'll get 20 million off them. How much? Who are you going to replace him with? Edouard's on his way to Leicester, apparently. You know, Ivan Toney, they want 30 million. Would you spend 30 million on a 24-year-old out of the Championship? He may be good enough, he may not. So it's a difficult decision to make for Arsenal in the summer. 1 year extension, I could get my head around. If you're talking 2 or 3 years, I think I would cash in on him. Jacob said sell Lacazette and buy Lukaku. I mean, Lukaku's set to win Serie A. And he would cost 60, 70 million, I think. So I don't see Lukaku coming to Arsenal. Martinelli up front, yeah, I could get my head around that. I think he deserves an opportunity. Thomas says Haaland. I mean, listen, I can't see Haaland choosing Arsenal out of all the options he's got available to him. You know, we can dream, of course. And he will cost too much money as well. I don't think Arsenal will have them kind of numbers, unfortunately. Let's go to the bench. Let's finish off with the bench. And Nicolas Pepe, Nico, we were calling for him to come on. Came on for 16 minutes. He got an assist. He could have actually won us the game. You know, he had 2 half chances where he kind of mishit the shot. And that's the frustration at times with Pepe. Be more clinical. Be that little bit stronger. Even the one with his right foot where Odegaard plays the ball around the corner. You've got to hold that defender off. Use that strong arm to hold them off. So when you take the shot, you're not off balance. He kind of just lets himself be pushed while he hits the ball. I'll give Pepe a... Man said he's definitely a cage player. Definitely plays in them London cages, man. Gets beer nutmegs and that. But in terms of Premier League, he's still got to adjust slightly to it. I'm gonna give him a 7. I'm gonna be kind and give him a 7. He came on and set up the equaliser, but he did miss 2 good chances, half chances. You know, score one of them and we win the game. So I'll give Pepe a 7. I'm being a bit kind to him there as well. Pepe's 6 foot, but very lightweight. Is he actually 6 foot? He's definitely lightweight. He needs to eat some hard food, man. Smith Rowe came on. I thought he was steady. Martinelli came on as well. those two didn't really get into the game that much. I'll probably give them both a standard 5-6. Didn't really get on the ball too much. Mikel Arteta's ratings. Mikel Arteta. What would you guys rate Mikel Arteta for yesterday? Did he pick the right team? Did he make the right substitutions? It could have been a very different show today if we didn't do that comeback. I tell you that. Netflix was on the phone and they was ready to. We were ready to go all out. Although it's not all his fault, you know. The players definitely have to question themselves when it comes to that performance. What would you give Arteta for yesterday? Mikel Arteta, 5. Picked a decent enough team. I would say with Arteta, the two things probably I didn't like. I would have played Gabriel because I think Gabriel is up for the physical battle that Antonio offered. And I would not have played Aubameyang on the left. As I said, I would have benched him if you didn't want to play him up front. 7 because at half-time he did something. Yeah, possibly. Probably give Arteta I'm leaning towards 5 or 6, man. I'm telling you, man, I'm leaning towards 5. Man said Arsenal did the West Istanbul, not even Istanbul. They should have won the game in the end. I'm giving him a 5, Mikel Arteta. I think he took too long to make the substitutions again. I don't know what the guy was waiting for. It's like he's got a clause in his contract. He can't make a sub till the 70th minute. I don't know what this guy's waiting for, man. You know what I mean? Netflix were ready to go, man. 2 p.m. This show could have looked very different if it wasn't for them 3 goals getting us back into it. But I'll let you go. I'll let you go, Mikel Arteta, with a 5. I tell you what, there was a very close contestant for man of the match yesterday, along with Martin Odegaard and Lacazette, who I thought was brilliant. And it was this guy, mate. Mossy. Man like Mossy, mate. What a refereeing display from Mossy yesterday. How many refs walk around with Mossy on their boots? Like, come on. We've criticised a lot of refs this season. We've hammered VAR all over the place. People say there's agendas against us everywhere. But this guy yesterday, what a performance. I think if he took his referee shirt off yesterday, I think he had an Arsenal shirt with number 14, Thierry Henry, on the back. He gave us everything yesterday. If you see the meltdown that David Moyes was having, I thought he was absolutely brilliant, John Moss. So finally, you know, we don't often big up refs. Most of the time, the refs are shocking. But Mossy, mate, I give him 10 out of 10 yesterday. I think he must hate Moyes, man. Mossy must hate Moyes. I'm actually giving him his nickname, man. I'll call him Mossy. If a ref's got Mossy on his boots, I'm going to call him it just for having the arrogance to put it on. I'm surprised he's not wearing like silver vapors, you know. He's got that much belief in himself. Man said Henry on the back. I'm telling you, man, big Mossy, you know. He gave us everything yesterday, absolutely everything. Fran said he sent him off. New favourite ref. He's definitely better than Kevin Friend, who hates us. Lil Mossy, you know, new rapper from Atlanta. Man like Mossy, fam. Man of the match. Yeah, he cashed in yesterday. I reckon he had 100 grand on Arsenal to draw, man. He weren't accepted it at 3-0. He said, listen, I'm going to make them win this game. Man said, Rick Moss, you know, I'm done. I'm the biggest boss that you've seen thus far. Yo, man like Rick Moss. Absolute bagger, mate. I love it. Check his betting history. I'm telling you, he had bets on Arsenal yesterday, man. Why don't refs wear glamorous boots, man? If I was a ref, I'll be turning up in vapors. I'll have my socks pulled over my knees like Thierry Henry. I might even have the wristband on my wrist, a little white tape around my wrist. I'll make refereeing look fashionable. You know what I mean? But big up Mossy, man. He hooked us up yesterday still. It ain't often you can big up a ref. You know, this guy was feeling himself. Man's got, you know, man's put his name on his boots. I don't think I've ever seen a referee at any level do that. Literally none. Let's have a quick look back on the game and a couple of the goals, man, because the goals we were conceding are just something else, man. Like absolutely something else. We'll do a quick Jamie Carragher / Gary Neville assessment. A couple of weeks ago against Burnley, I made an assessment that the goal that we conceded, where your boy Granit Xhaka kicks the ball against Chris Wood, I said, you won't see a worse goal than that conceded, probably for the rest of the season. It's that embarrassing. They challenged it yesterday. You know, I think they said, hold my beer, let's make it even worse. I mean, sometimes, you know, like when you order something off Amazon and, you know, you order a table or something, or you need instructions, you take the instructions out and you have a look, and it's just basics. You know, get this screwdriver, screw it in here, use a hammer, hammer it in here. If you bought a football at a young age, like these men don't even know some of the basics of football. You never turn your back on a defensive free kick. Basics, just pure basics, people. Yeah, you would teach your 5-year-old kid that playing football. These men are Premier League footballers, internationals. And look at this. Look at this. You've got Thomas Partey with his back. You've got Kieran Tierney with his back. You've got Granit Xhaka with his back. You've got Saka arguing with Mossy. I mean, how dare you argue with Mossy after what he did yesterday? But you've got Pablo Mari just not even looking. David Luiz, these guys are out of the equation. And Jesse Lingard is about to play this ball to Jared Bowen. And Jared Bowen's probably standing there thinking, are these men crazy? Like, what are these men doing? Like, what are they doing? Mossy didn't blow his whistle and has the spray out to make the wall. Yeah, I know. Some people were saying that. I believe you don't have to blow the whistle to take a quick free kick. People saying it wasn't even a foul. But listen, this defending is absolutely atrocious. Like, it's literally schoolboy level defending from Arsenal. And as it develops, you know, plays the ball, and he's celebrating. This madman in goal gets beat at his near post. You know, absolutely shocking. And if I move on to this goal, which is the Antonio one, ball's been crossed in. Antonio's savaging David Luiz in the air, you know, which I'm not surprised. He's a beast. I'm telling you, if Mikel Antonio was a good finisher, he'd be at a top 4 club, because he is an absolute nuisance. I bet he's one of the hardest strikers in the Premier League to play against. It's just he's a man that can miss like easy chances, as we saw yesterday, but he's an absolute problem. Ball was whipped in. David Luiz gets savaged in the air by Antonio. Pablo Mari switches off. Souček's there. Pablo Mari's looking at the ball, and Antonio heads it, hits Souček, goes in the bottom corner. Shocking defending again. And if we'd have gone back even further, right, Aubameyang does not help Kieran Tierney one bit in this defensive situation. He just literally watches as the situation develops. He's not interested in helping. He just watches, is it Kufal at right back, just run forward, and he doesn't track him. He's got no interest in tracking him. And this is the problem with Aubameyang playing on the left. If I rewind it to here, this is Kufal at right back, and there's Aubameyang. If Aubameyang's left wing at the time, Aubameyang now needs to spot the danger. The ball's over here near Kieran Tierney, and he just never tracks him. You develop it 5 yards. Look here. Kufal's crossing it. Look where Aubameyang is. Has jogged back. When he realizes danger, he runs. It's too late. The ball's getting whipped in. Look at Souček here, making that run. Makes the run. Pablo Mari, for me, should open his body up and go and check where Souček is. When Antonio heads that down, he may have had an opportunity to have blocked it. As I said here, Antonio wins the header. Mari hasn't gone with Souček, deflects off Souček in the bottom corner. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. The defending from Arsenal, mate, at times is just, it's borderline embarrassing. You know, it's borderline embarrassing. Adam said, I feel like I'm watching the FA coaching training video for kids. Honestly, just basics. Just basics. Honestly, we said this yesterday. We said, look, Antonio looks like, and not just Antonio, that whole West Ham team, they look like they will run through brick walls for David Moyes. They look like they're ready to do anything to make that team win. And at times with Arsenal, I don't see that. I see it at certain times when they feel like doing it. Arsenal are that team that when they wake up, and you know when you wake up some mornings and you wake up and the sun's shining and you've had a good sleep and everything's fallen into place and you think, you know what, I'll do a workout today because I feel great. But you know on them days when it's dark and it's raining and you've only had 4 hours sleep and you don't feel great, that's when you have to put it in. And these Arsenal players, they're not up for it when they don't feel good. That's the problem. You know, where that West Ham team, they look like they're ready to run for a brick wall head first. Do you know what I'm saying, for David Moyes? Brett said that comeback showed fight for Arteta. It did. It did. And I want to make this clear that I want to praise the team for the comeback, right? They deserve credit. 3-0 down against a team that is challenging for top 4. It should be game over. It should be game over. So I will give Arteta and the players some credit for the comeback, you know. But at the same time, really good teams don't put themselves in that position. I watched West Ham against Man United the other week and they didn't have a shot on target the whole game. They play Arsenal, they're 3-0 up after 30 minutes. You know, that's the problem. We are just so inconsistent, as you're saying, Wilson. You don't know what team you're going to get. The old Arsenal would have lost the game 6-0. Yeah, possibly. Because we did have a habit of just crumbling once we got in that kind of position. Majestic T, good analysis. We need to hook you up with a touchscreen. I'm telling you. Need the little touchscreen so I can do the Sky Sports settings for all of you, man. I'll get it eventually, man. Don't worry. Big up Georgie, a Leicester fan. Leicester are flying at the moment, man. They were brilliant against Man United yesterday. Pepe should have started. I kind of feel like yesterday was an opportunity for Pepe or Martinelli to play. When you look at Aubameyang and Saka out wide, neither one of them worked. I think Saka needed the rest, and I think Aubameyang shouldn't have played out wide, in my opinion. I'm not singling out Oba, but he looks uninterested at the moment. And for me, he served the club well. But if you're not performing, you should not play. Aubameyang messes up the balance of the wing. As I said, play him up front or don't play him, in my opinion. Junior says, big up man like Big C. Your channel keeps going up and up. Hey, respect, bro. It can only go up with all of you guys supporting the channel. So, as I said, I always give my thanks to all of you for your support. Curtis Sky Sports Short. Hey, I'm trying, bro. I'm trying. And just one more thing before we kind of get out of here. I thought this was interesting from Josh King. Josh King, of course, plays for Norway. Everton striker now. Josh King said, on Odegaard, when I saw the rumour about Arsenal, I sent him a message and said, you have to go to Arsenal. He replied, are you sure? I was so sure. Arsenal style of play, and Martin, I have friends who've played for Arsenal and I know a little how the club is. So big up Josh King for guiding Martin Odegaard to Arsenal. Now send that same text message to Haaland and tell him, you know, Arsenal, London, you know, Odegaard's going to be here. Get yourself to Arsenal and enjoy yourself. That's all we need now. We just need one more text message and we're good, you know. But big up Josh King. We need to make that deal permanent, you know. We need that deal permanent. Gunman Khan, hey, Big C, yesterday's stream was actually lit, bro. To be honest, the match was a mazza, but your commentary helped us, bro. I enjoyed it, man, in the end, but I wish we'd have won the game. You know, I wish we would have won the game. It would have been even more epic, you know. Michelle said, I felt Arteta didn't want to start Aubameyang, but should have dropped him, either Aubameyang or Lacazette. That is what it must be. You can only play them both, in my opinion, if you're playing two up front. All this shoehorning Aubameyang on the wing and all that, that doesn't work, in my opinion, man. So, yeah, Darren said, Curtis, are your memberships live? Memberships are live, people, for anyone who wants to become a member. The link is in the description below. Click on that. It will take you straight there. 3 options. Pick your option. And let's go. Onwards and upwards, people, you know. Onwards and upwards. Big up everyone who's joined so far. If you can't join, don't want to join, don't worry. I appreciate the support anyway. Smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. Smash a like on this video. I'm out of here, people. Tomorrow, I'm probably going to, like I said, I'm going to do some different videos because we've got a 2-week international break now. And I'm not sure I'm going to be streaming England against San Marino. I'm just not sure that's going to work, you know. England is like watching paint dry at times, isn't it? Watching them play, although they'd probably win that game comfortably. I'm going to do a few different shows. I may do Arsenal's worst 11 just for a bit of a laugh. I did Arsenal's best ever 11 last week. I may do Arsenal's worst 11. May do the best team of the Emirates era. A lot of people asking for the best Premier League team as well. So we're going to do things like that. Any ideas you've got for shows that you'd like to see during the international break, put it in the comments after the video's finished. Any guests that you would like to see me bring on. I've got Graham coming on this week. He's back. We'll do a tactical insight with him. Deluda Guna will be on. I'm going to get Robbie on over the 2 weeks. Kevin Campbell will be on. And I'll try and get a few more as well for you as well. So anybody you want to see come on, put that in the comments. Any video ideas. And I'll be back tomorrow, people, 2 p.m. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Membership is live as well. Enjoy the rest of your day, people. And I will see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Bless.